What is up, everybody? Coach Chad here, the CEO of the Next Level Coaching Academy and the creator of the Fit CEO podcast by Chad Molyneux. I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. I'm also going to dive right into the content today. I don't have a whole ton of time. I'm on a time crunch. And I hope you guys appreciate that about me. I'm a very direct individual. I'm very let's get down to business. So let's do it. I have two frameworks that I think will absolutely change the course of your life. And framework one is going to be around productivity. Well, actually, I want to make that one framework two because I want to tell you guys a story. Framework one is going to be around decision making. So this podcast is going to help you with decision making. It's also going to help you with productivity, two massively important things in business. I could probably make these two separate podcasts, but I'm not. I'm going to try and cram them all into one. So let's get it. All right. So I want to start off with a story because decision making can absolutely change the course of your life. And when I was a junior in high school, I was faced with a decision that, in hindsight 2020, absolutely changed the course of my life for the better. And that decision was who I was going to go to homecoming with. So I was a junior at the time, and there was a senior in my chemistry class, and her name was Allie Loda. And Allie Loda was friends with Caitlin, who's my current girlfriend, and she was also friends with this girl named Danielle. And me and Allie sat next to each other in chemistry class. We became really good friends. And she asked me one day, she said, "Hey, I have two friends that are looking for homecoming dates." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And she was like, "Which one do you want to go with?" And I was like, "Well, who are they?" And she was like, "Caitlin and Danielle." And I knew Caitlin because we worked at the same grocery store. Always had a little crush on her. And Danielle was also a very attractive senior. So I was faced with this decision between two very attractive seniors. I worked with Caitlin, so there was that a little nudge in that direction. And I didn't know Danielle as much. So I honestly, being like not a super popular junior. I was like middle of the road popularity. I played sports, but I wasn't overly popular. I was just middle of the road popularity. Was very taken back on why these two very attractive seniors wanted to go to homecoming with me. So uh, I I said, "Well, can I think on my decision?" She said, "Yeah, sure." So next day in chemistry class, I sat down and I said, "I want to go with Caitlin." And I did. I went to homecoming with Caitlin. We started dating. We dated on and off for a while. And then we're down here in Austin together. We're building awesome businesses. We're building an awesome life with each other. And it's crazy to see, all right? It all came down to one decision. What if I said that I wanted to go to homecoming with Danielle and not Caitlin? Would I be here? Would the Next Level Coaching Academy be a thing? Would I live in Austin? Honestly, probably not. So decision making is extremely important in our life. And here's the framework that I want to gift you guys with anytime that you're faced with a decision. Maybe you're faced with the decision on should I start my business or not? Maybe you're faced on a decision with your relationship. Maybe you're faced on a decision with whatever it may be, right? This can apply to every single decision that you make. And it's very simple, but it's very, very powerful. And here's the framework. And these are two questions that you need to ask yourself anytime that you're faced with a decision. All right. Question number one is, who am I? Question number two is, what do I stand for? So all of your decisions need to come back to those two questions. Who am I and what do I stand for? I'm going to give another analogy. All right. There's many times in life when we are faced with things that we don't want to do, but we do them because of societal norm, peer pressure, whatever it may be. Maybe there was a time in college where you were saying, hey, somebody said, hey, snort this line of coke, or hey, do this drug, and you knew in your core, you're like, this is not who I am and this is not who I stand for, but did it anyways. And that's why I want to give you this framework, not because you're going to be faced where you're asked to snort a line of coke, but more so because there's going to be decisions in your life where you feel a certain way. You feel like, I should do this because, this person's going to judge me if I don't, or, I should do this because, society tells me I should do this. But in your core and what you truly believe you know the right thing to do is, to make the opposite decision. So I want to gift you guys with that because it's super, super powerful. And like I said, this can apply to anything. Maybe you're struggling right now. Maybe you want to grow a business, but your family wants you to, go off to college, right? Or go get a quote unquote real job. And I was faced with that decision too, because my parents did not believe in what I was building. They said, "Well, why don't you go get something that makes you some money?" And this is when, this is when it was just, my little side hobby that my parents saw it as, right? Not something that, in my mind, it was going to be this massive empire that I was building. But I knew in my core who I am is I am a business owner, and I knew in my core what I stand for is I'm not going to give up and I'm not going to quit. And because of that framework, and because I stayed true to that framework, we're now here today. We're now here today with very successful businesses and a successful life. Not where I want to be yet. Always going to push, always going to continue. But that framework completely changed the course of my life. So that's my gift to you. Anytime you're faced with a decision, ask yourself, who am I? And what do I stand for? All right. The second one I want to give you is around productivity. Okay, so everyone, when we're talking about productivity, talks about efficiency. Oh, I'm super efficient. I'm absolutely efficient. What does efficient mean? Efficient means that you get tasks done in a timely manner. Okay, but what's the difference between efficient and effective? Because the word that you should really strive for is being effective, not just efficient, but being effective. And the big difference between being efficient and effective is this one thing. Being efficient is, yes, you're getting things done in a timely manner, but being effective is getting things done in a timely manner, and actually the things that you're getting done are actually moving a result. That's the biggest difference between being effective and efficient. You want to be effective because that means that you have the skill of identifying tasks that are actually going to push your life forward, that are actually going to push your business forward, and then you finish them in a timely manner, and you're quick and you're efficient and all those things, right? But that's the skill that most people are missing. Most people in business are missing the skill of identifying what is actually going to move their business forward. They miss being effective, and there's way too many people that are just being efficient. There are way too many people that are, oh, I built my logo today. Oh, I built my website today. I did this today. And all those tasks are just check the box on being efficient, but they're not effective. They're not effective. And this was another thing for me. And now that I'm, saying it out loud, I get all these ideas when I talk. When I'm saying it out loud, this was a big difference for me. I don't know if you guys have heard the origin story. It's episode 1 on the podcast, but there was, a almost 3-year stint where I was efficient, but I wasn't effective, and I didn't have any clients, but I did a ton of stuff. I worked, 8, 9, 10 hours sometimes on my business, just doing things that I thought were going to push a result, but actually didn't push a result. And it wasn't until I became effective and realized what actually moved the business forward that I then could put my hard work towards tasks that are going to move the business forward. I became effective. The business actually was built. So I'm not just going to leave you with that framework. I'm not going to just leave you and say, hey, you need to be effective without telling you what you should be effective on. But here's my, and once again, I like to keep things simple, and I'm just writing this down really quick. Here's my framework, because most people listening to this probably have a small following like me. Most people listening to this probably aren't starting with anything, meaning like any capital. They're like absolutely at ground zero, and that's exactly where I started. And this is the simple framework that set me free in terms of what tasks I should work on. Number 1 is sales, because if you're not selling, you're not helping people. Meaning, if you don't get a client, there's nobody to, perform your services on, right? So sales is first. You have to be focused on booking calls. Then you have to be focused on closing those calls. And then once they become a client, the second most important thing is delivering great results. So number 1, your number 1 priority to be effective is always be in a sales mindset. Always be looking, where's my next client? Where's my next client? Then you're going to layer that with, once you get the client, you're going to deliver amazing results. And then the last part of that is marketing. Marketing for me was the least important thing for me to focus on. I wasn't focused on, posting 17 times a week. I wasn't focused on getting a large following. I was focused on, where's my next call? Did I close the deal? Yes, I did. Great. They're a client. I'm going to make sure that I deliver amazing service. Repeat the process. Book a call, close the call, deliver. Book a call, close the call, deliver. And I did that over and over and over again. I sprinkled in some posts over time. I got a large client base. I was starting to get some cash flow. Then I could start building the team, spending money on ads, and doing all the other crazy stuff that I won't get into. But that's the most simple framework to be effective when you're first starting out. Book a call, close the call, deliver amazing service, sprinkle in some posts, repeat that process over and over and over again. Guys, I don't know how long this one was. I think it was short, but it was really freaking powerful. I appreciate you guys listening. Like I said, I got a busy day. Caitlin's family is down here. It's been like a year. We haven't seen Caitlin's family. I haven't seen my family yet either since December of 2019. I will be seeing my family in June. It's crazy to think about. But anyways, I don't want to bore you guys with the details. I appreciate you guys listening. I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, take a screenshot, tag me on Instagram, and I'll chat with you guys soon. Peace.